Welcome to Burning Daylight Sports with Matt McKinley, Eric Winkler, and Jake Rehnquist. Join us every Tuesday for betting lines, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
We're gonna go in hot tonight. We were talking before. We got way distracted. But we got back to baseball, and we're gonna throw it into another etiquette question because I'm not real sure on this. I was listening to the A's. I had to go unload cattle tonight, and it's typically how I consume baseball. Like I love watching it, but more often than not, especially my teams on the West Coast, that like they're either happening when especially if they're on road trips, they happen when I'm at work. And the A's are in Texas today. They won one last night. Finally got to a winning record. DeGrom was on the mound tonight, and he was fucking dealing. I didn't get to watch any of it, but listening to it on the broadcast, he was hitting 98 and painting the corner.
Back to old DeGrom.
Yeah, like the DeGrom we know. And so I'm just like, fuck. And so the A's weren't hitting, and we talked about this. What started out as Estes as the number 5 starter. He got lit the fuck up. They sent him down to AAA. They brought up this McGill kid, and he had 2 pretty, I wouldn't say good starts, but like serviceable starts. Like they're for your 5 starter and a rookie, he was doing good. I think he had shoulder inflammation or elbow inflammation. What goes on the DL? So they bring up. I didn't know who was starting till today, but they brought up Lopez, I think was his name, and he was not good. He went 2 2/3 and gave up 4, I think. Oof. But he had 4 walks in the first 2 innings, 4 walks and a hit batter. And he worked himself out of like a pretty big pickle first 2 innings and no scores. But then I don't know. You put guys on base, it's gonna bite you. I quit listening when it was like 8-0. I was like, this is gross. And so I was like, all right, Tigers are down 3-2. I'll check in with the Tigers. And as soon as I did, the Astros went off. They scored 3 that inning, and I was like, fuck. I jinxed the Tigers, and I kind of like the Tigers. They're like my second best team right now, and the Rockies are my favorite team, but they're in a different category. I'm rooting for excellence on the other side. 130 or bust. I'm starting that hashtag. We're gonna make that trend. Hashtag 130 or bust.
Well, we're on record to be the worst team ever, and that includes like the Cleveland whatever is from 1899.
Well, it's the worst start in National League history. Yeah, I'm rooting for them to blow out the White Sox record from last year. White Sox had 121 losses. I want 130 or bust.
So the crazy thing about this, I just saw they're historically bad, and like people don't show up. People aren't necessarily showing up to games, but they're selling a lot of tickets. And so like if that keeps going, like there's no incentive for mompers to spend some money or
like why would they
like change anything really?
Why would they?
A lot of money.
So the Rockies are not part of our etiquette question. We're going to come back to that. What is the etiquette on that? When your team's losing and you like and so if you're a baseball fan at all, spend the $150 for the year to get the MLB app. Or MLB TV. It's so fucking worth it. So at what point are you jinxing your buddy's team by jumping in on that?
So it's a weird thing, and like I think probably baseball is the most superstitious sport.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Baseball players are crazy superstitious and like really believe in a jinx.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it last episode with like the no hitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean I believe it. Like shoot, I will. I like if I turn on the game late and like something bad happens real quick, I might turn it right back off.
See
check it a little bit later.
See, if that score would have been flip flopped and it would have been Tigers 3-2, I probably wouldn't have tuned in. But I just like I had I put in my parlay for that. I usually do like I pick all my games for the day, and I put a buck on everything, and then like a buck or two, and then parlay all of them. And the parlay never hits. I think I've hit it one time. And when I did, it paid out at like $270 off a $1 bet. But so I don't know. I just like if that score would have been flip flopped and the Tigers would have been ahead, I wouldn't have tuned in. I would have just like checked the score. But yeah, then I felt like such a piece of shit because well, and they're playing the Astros, which is a division rival for me. So I'm like, yeah, I want the Tigers to win. Because I watched that whole. I think I tuned in when Skubal was pitching in the second, and the other day, and he was
Sunday.
Yeah, he was
dealing
nasty. Holy shit, he was nasty.
Struck out like 11 in like 6 innings or something like that.
Yeah, and man, he was hitting that like that high and tight fastball. Like
that's his bread and butter, man. That's his strikeout pitch.
And that was when he was doing his like Vikings shriek coming off the mound too. Every time is when he hit that high fastball. It was just like warrior mode, just like
Oh yeah, he's got like one of the best case struts out there right now,
dude. I love it. And so. Yeah, I tuned in early, but it was nothing, and like fuck, I'm gonna watch Skubal. I don't care. I don't care about the superstition at that point. I'm gonna watch that guy. But yeah, today I was like, oh fuck. I bet they would if I wouldn't have tuned in, they would have had like a 2-run. I think it was in the 6th or something like 7th. I think it was the 7th.
6th.
Was it the 6th?
6 is when six they gave up a few. Yeah, that's what I think they Olsen got beat up a little bit, and they pulled them and they let up like 3 runs.
Oh, dude, Murdoch for the A's didn't retire a batter before he got pulled. I think he gave up 6.
Oh, that's killer for your ERA, man.
Oh, so bad. At Murdoch's, he's not been good. McFarland's been okay. Miller's been really good. Dude, JP Sears is a fucking dog.
Yeah, he is.
Severino is a fucking dog. That guy could be down 5 runs in the first inning and he's still gonna fucking come at you. He don't care. Like he'll still give you 5. Fuck it. I gave up 10. I don't give a shit. I'll give you 5. He and JP Sears was fucking. He's been dealing. The A's are pretty good on the road, but they're boom and bust, man. Like they've had a couple like close games that they've won, but like when they lose, they typically get blown the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to when you lose and you lose big. Like it's kind of hard to like believe in a team, really.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they talk about like the Pythagorean like expected wins.
Yeah,
which I can't remember exactly how that works, but it's based on like your run differential.
Yeah.
And so, and like, if you're a good team and when you lose big, like you don't have high hopes for playoff games.
You know what's so funny about baseball is like. We're all fucking nerds here. That's why we're baseball fans. By the way, we got a t-shirt line coming out. We'll tell you about it here in a minute, but it'll line into this. But like there's a lot of stats that I'm like just getting caught up on trying to figure out how they're like the launch angle and the exit velocity is I'm still getting used to that. The WAR, all these like advanced analytics they're new to me. But like when you're talking about that like Pythagorean theorem, like you could say that, or you could just like it's kind of the feel of the suck. You can feel how bad they suck.
Yeah.
And the A's, when they're good, they're good. And it's usually when they have Severino or Bideau's been pretty good he's a wild card because he walks a lot of people. And when his control is off, he tends to put it right over the middle of the plate. But like if Severino or Sears are on the mound, I feel good. Bideau, it's kind of like, here we go.
I mean, that's one of the interesting things about baseball too. Is like, man, you generally have 5 starters, and I mean, it can be a completely different game depending on who's starting. So, if you might have like a Cy Young winner, but like your 4 and 5 are trash. So like, man, you're 1, 2, 3 days are like
look at the Pirates, different. Man. They've got the best pitcher in baseball, and but like when he's on the mound, you're like, all right, Pirates are gonna win. They went out and beat the shit out of the Dodgers when Skeen was on the mound, but then they don't do anything when he's not.
Yeah, I mean, so I've had season tickets for like 12 years of the Tigers now, and they've been pretty bad for the last like 8 or 9. Well, outside like last season was nice. But before that, it was real bad. But before they traded Verlander away, we almost always had a Sunday game, and like I can always at least count on home game, Verlander on the mound, they got a chance.
Yeah,
and like not the rest of the days, but when Verlander's pitching, like
exactly,
you always got a chance.
Well, and that's why those guys get paid so much fucking money, because you're like, well, the hardest thing to do in any sport is to hit. Is to hit a fastball, or just to hit a baseball. Like it's statistically, it's the hardest thing to do. The all-time, what was the highest recorded ever average was like a 408 for a year.
Oh, really?
Ted
Williams.
I forget. I could be talking out of my head, but I think there was like a 400. Or better. Shit, we got a lot of people listening tonight. Autisms, the autists tuned in, but I don't know. There's something about baseball where like if you explain somebody hadn't like me, like I think I've heard of that like Pythagorean theorem deal, but like it's also just like. It all relates to kind of like the feel of the game. Like when baseball, you're like, oh yeah. What's our number 2 starter, Springs? He sucks. Like the last couple, maybe he doesn't suck, but the last couple of starts have been really bad. And you're just like, you don't like one bad start, like you get roughed up, that'll happen. But you go consecutive and you're like, come on, guy. And so like next time he's out there, you're like, come on, give us 5 and give us 5 and 3 runs. We'll take that. But they've been rough on when they don't have Sears or Severino on the mound. I don't feel confident. Like Bideau, let's see what the first inning looks like, and then I'll tell you if I'm confident or not.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's like gets to the idea of like stats versus feel. It's like so Jack Flaherty got beat up a little bit yesterday, but honestly, he gave up 2 home runs and he missed essentially like 2 pitches.
Yeah,
like the game, like you missed you left 2 fastballs like over the plate. And you can see like catcher set up like high inside and he leaves it over the middle.
Yeah,
and Altuve just launches one.
Right.
And like so, yeah. Like this, the stats don't look good, but like you get into some advanced stuff. Yeah, he was hitting his locations. He was still striking out a bunch of guys. Like, but like the feel, like it feels bad.
Right. But also then you look back at it and you're just like, hey man, that was pretty minimal damage. But
I mean, it was a game, but yeah.
Yeah. But so like Gill the other day, the rookie that went on the IL, his last start, he gave up 3 earned runs and they were all solo shots. And you're just like, you don't like to give up the homers because you're missing your spots pretty big. But if that's all you give up, fuck man, I'll take it. You give us 5 2/3 and 3, and they're all 3 solo shots. I don't like that you gave up 3 home runs. I really don't like that, but they're all solo shots, so fuck it. But, get better.
I mean, I don't know his pitching profile, but sometimes that's the guys who throw hard. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It was a Verlander issue too. Like he gives up a lot of home runs.
Yeah,
but like doesn't give up like a whole lot of hits, but he gives up home runs.
Well, see, that was Ubaldo.
But he throws hard. But he throws hard.
Right.
Like you're gassing at 100 and in the 7th.
Yeah.
If someone connects on it, like it's going.
But that was like Ubaldo. When he had his breakout year, like the only runs he gave up were solo home runs at Coors because he'd elevate a fastball and leave it hanging, and it's coming 100 mile an hour. So if you connect that you barrel that up, it's going a long fucking ways.
Yeah, I remember is the World Series is it Cleveland, Chicago. And it was Rajai Davis against Chapman.
Oh yeah.
And so when Chapman was like a serious flamethrower.
Yeah, well, he was throwing 102. Yeah,
I mean, he's probably gassing it like 104 maybe, but like he, I think he was in for like I think he came in mid inning and then it was in the 9th, and Rajai, tiny little guy, doesn't hit home runs, but he just got solid contact. Yeah, and that thing just jumped. His thing just jumped off the bat.
Well, I think it was a low pitch too. It was like it was low coming in at like 103, and so he had the launch angle, and he just happened to barrel it up, and when it's coming at 100,
hit in the sweet spot, and like at 100, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're small. Like the thing's going.
Oh yeah, it's fucking love baseball. I love that shit. Yeah. So. Like we've been talking about this, where like all the nerdy stats and shit, and there's been a lot of memes going around here lately after RFK was talking about his and I get what he was saying about the truly non-functional autistic people, but he was like, he was talking about you'd never be able to play pro ball, and then there was a bunch of Zach Greinke memes. Baseball is all autism. Baseball is for autists, and so that is our line of T-shirt that we're coming out with. We're doing one for every. We're gonna try to. We're working on designing them, but we got some pretty fucking good ones laid out. But
RFK was right. We will not be paying taxes on these because this is unlicensed merchandise.
Well, yeah, and this is America. We hate taxes, so fuck you.
Yeah, screw taxes.
But yeah, baseball is for autists. We're gonna try to design one for every team in the major leagues. So we'll be releasing a few of them as we determine they're good enough, and then if you guys got once we put them out, if you guys have good ideas, like send them in. We'll figure something out on the back end, but send them in. Like, I think this is a great idea because it truly is like the most spectrum sport out there. Like it's superstitious and it's all about fucking numbers. And I like that. I don't know, the more once you've played baseball a little bit, like you get into those, like, because when you're in a slump, you're just like, fuck, I'm gonna try everything to get out of this. Like, I don't care if I have to choke way up. I don't care if I have to swing a bigger bat. Whatever it is, I'm gonna get out of this slump. And then once you do start hitting, you don't change shit, because it's if you're already OCD, like, baseball would just make you more so.
There's a great Pete Rose interview, I think on like Baseball Tonight or something like that, back when Baseball Tonight was really good. And he's talking about like getting out of slump, and he's like, all right, if I'm not hitting right, like maybe I'll choke up a little bit on the bat.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll like get all the way down on the butt. And then the other thing is maybe I'll move up in the box, maybe move back in the box, move like in and out, and just like do anything to kind of get out of that slump. It's a great interview to go look at. But I mean, and then he's like, yeah, once I'm, but like, when I'm hitting, I'm not changing a thing.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know. It's so wild. Like, and it's funny as my niece is the one that picked it up on Jacob Wilson. She's like, why is number 5 dancing all the time? What's he doing? I didn't really pick up on it because I just, I've seen him hit a bunch Jacob Wilson for the A's, but like, yeah, then once she mentioned it, I started watching him in the box, and I'm like, that dude's feet never stop. Like he's always just like prancing. He's got like a really wide open stance, and then he steps in as the pitch comes. But is like until he actually swings, his feet never stop moving. And that dude's hitting like 346 right now. He's like, and he's got the high socks, and he's just such a throwback guy. And I was like, I fucking love guys like that. Like he's not going to hit 40 home runs in a year ever, probably. And he's not the best defender. He's okay. He does fine, but the A's are not good defensively. they're not good.
He has a clutch bat.
Oh, and he's just got such a likable face. You're just like, he looks like he's 12 years old, and he's playing in the Little League World Series. And you're like, I fucking like that kid.
Yeah. And he like, so he doesn't, he's got like one of the best eyes. He doesn't swing at pitches out of it. Like, so I think until like 4 or 5 days ago, he didn't have a walk. And not just not a walk. He didn't even have a 3 ball count. Like, yeah, he swings and makes contact. He's just so good at making contact.
Like he now has 2 walks. Yeah, he's got 2 walks on the season.
That's very impressive.
Yeah,
like he's just so good at making contact. And that was,
he's like he doesn't swing and miss, but way more fun.
Yeah, and so like there's player Williams Astudillo, not that good, but like he had like the lowest swing and miss percentage. Like if he swings, he's making contact.
Yeah.
No power, not a good defender, but he doesn't miss the ball when he swings.
Well, and like Jacob Wilson's not fast either, but he somehow steals bases. He's just like, he's like Pete Rose. He's just like fucking Johnny Hustle, just like nothing about him screams that he should be a great baseball player, but he's a fucking great baseball player, dude. He's so much fun to watch. And he's had 2 walk-offs. That he had the last walk-off at the Oakland Coliseum last year, and he had the first walk-off at the Sacramento at Sutter Health Field at this AAA park, and it was fucking cool. Luis Urias had a great walk-off the other day, and listen to the call on the radio because Jenny kind of ruined the walk-off call.
So I didn't actually see it. I saw the only one I saw was the one you posted without the audio.
It was rough. She got real shrill, and getting down in Sacktown, and it just I was like, no,
I don't know about that.
No, and I wish I could play it on YouTube without getting dinged for whatever, but I don't know. There's something about just the crack of a wood bat when it gets barreled up. I mean, it's so fucking satisfying. And Urias had a really cool, he had a not quite a Freddie Freeman deal, but like he turned to the crowd and then he did the flipped it towards home, and I was like that's a pretty fucking sweet walk off. And I don't know, There's nothing cooler than a walk-off home run. I mean that's the coolest fucking thing ever. Or like a strikeout in the bottom of the ninth. Like that's either way, just a strikeout to close it out or a walk-off home run. There's nothing cooler.
There's a good walk-off in the minors this last week. I can't remember the player now, but and it wasn't a home run. It was kind of a weird field. They got like a little like weird cutout in the center field.
Oh yeah,
you just buried it in that. It was
it
was a single, maybe a double.
Wild.
But man, that man like had one of the most epic bat flips I've ever seen. It looked like he launched that thing like 40 feet in the air.
Yeah.
He's looking at the dugout like sidestepping all the way to first base. Like, oh man, he was pumped.
Fuck yeah! Well, how about the Giants with their Little League home run walk off on Little League Day?
That's crazy.
That was filthy.
I know, and it was on Little League Day too, and it's like
it looked like they were playing the Rockies.
I mean, you know what?
Quite honestly, that was some Rockies infield play.
Right, so first off, fuck the Giants, but that was awesome. That was fucking cool. And it was against the Rangers, so fuck the Rangers. They're newfound division rival. So yeah, I'm bringing all the hate on the AL West. Yeah, so fuck the Rangers, fuck the Giants. But if you're gonna do that to somebody, at least it was to the Rangers. And yeah, but how cool is that on Little League Day? You got a bunch of little kids in their like whatever team they're assigned that year for Little League playing, showing up to the big league game and in just true Little League fashion, walking it off with barely a single, barely.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's cool. How do you not love baseball? Seriously, if you don't love baseball, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So, all right. That brings me a good point that I want to bring up too, kind of back to what you were talking about, like with the crack of the bat.
Yeah.
And so like, I go to a ton of baseball games and, we're forced to move up 5 rows this year because of, they put in some new seats behind us, and it's okay. It's a little weird. Still getting used to it. I know it's not that much difference, but one of the, I've sat there for so long, man, like I know if it's going out.
Yeah.
And like part of it is like, you gotta hear the right sound,
and
you can see the trajectory. But man, especially on like a Thursday or Friday night, there's so many people that are maybe not quite as big baseball fans that are at the game.
Oh yeah,
and like you get tons of people cheering. You get tons of people cheering for like a routine pop fly or something. Yeah, like that. And it was like. I'm like, I know you got under it because it didn't sound right.
You always know the true baseball fans, like, because if it sounds right, everybody knows it's out. Like even the casuals know.
Yeah.
But like the true ones are like, oh yeah. But the how I've noticed on like a true baseball fan is like when it's like a little Texas leaguer and somebody's like, get down, and yeah. Okay, that guy knows. Because you see the center fielder hustling in, and you're just like, get down. Fuck yeah. And then like it's little plays like that when people are like, oh, these guys know baseball. These guys have played baseball a little bit.
Yeah, there's a few other guys around our seats that have season tickets, and I don't know, I recognize them, but like I know they're. I see them, enough to, and like it's the same thing. Like they know like when a play is going to happen.
Yeah.
When it's just a easy play, and like I'll get into it, and I'm standing up, exactly like last game we went to. There's like just a little blooper. I'm just like praying for it to drop.
Right. Well, so I know I've referenced it so many times, but it was such a fucking cool game, that opening day of the Aces. But like when Tim Tawa hit his triple, like it went into the right field corner, and I was like, yeah, get down. I was like, get two. And then it bounced around the corner. I was like, get there, get down. Yeah. And it's like, you can see it coming the whole way, and you're just like, fuck yeah, come on, dude. There's nothing cooler than that. And then you see like a handful of guys around you doing the same thing, and you're like,
yep. It's like, exactly. You gotta kind of acknowledge everyone.
Yeah.
And it's fun,
everybody, like, that's when you get like the belly bumps in the stands, you know. It's like it's guys that actually know what's going on. And you're like, fuck yeah. You appreciate that dude hustling, you know. Like, not only was it a great hit, you know, just hugs the line, just buries in the corner, and then it takes a weird hop, and you're like, fuck yeah, get three.
Well, and that's an interesting thing too with like the A's now is they got like a new stadium, and there's probably like different kind of nuances with the stadium.
And it's weird. So it was modeled after the Coliseum, but it doesn't have those big foul ball areas. So like,
so I mean that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like at Comerica, like if you hit a ball right field, and you get a little tail on it, it bounces in play. There's a little part in the foul territory, like so you get like kind of like the outfield wall, and then like it kind of cuts in a little bit. You get to bounce off that wall, that's a triple, and like you know it's gonna happen if you get that bounce off that wall.
So if you like you get just like a little tail on that like bloop single, and you're just like, I'm going. That's not a single anymore.
It's so fun. It's so fun. Like people that go a lot, like they know that when that happens, like, oh, he's running.
Oh, anytime you see something headed towards those lines, like, you know, not deep center field, but just like right over the infield, you're like, oh yeah, that's gonna be trouble. And like that's what's great about even if you're not watching the game, like a good announcer, like, hit sharply down the right field line, that's gonna be trouble, and it's fair. Oh, it's bouncing in the corner, you know, bobbles the handle, you know. It's just like, I don't know. It's cool. It's just different fields play different, and but no, anytime you hit it down those lines, you're just like, that's either gonna go fair or that's gonna be extra bases.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't want to disparage like casual fans going to the games because I love seeing a full stadium. Although I do like it when it's pretty empty and I can spread out a little bit. But like, you know, me and my friend, you know, we've got 2 tickets, and like if he can't go or I can't go, we'll bring someone. Like, you know, I'll bring maybe like one of my friends who's a little bit more casual fans, and they like won't necessarily watch baseball at like home or anything, but man, everyone has fun at the game.
Oh yeah. So we went on opening day. I actually missed my kids or my buddy's kid, you know, saying play ball. I didn't know that was happening. So, but I like as soon as the anthem was done, I was like, all right, kids, go to the gift shop now while they're warming up. Like, I don't want to miss the game. This is fucking opening day. It's first opening day I'd went to. So I was like, let's go. And so I missed Maverick doing that deal, but that I was so jealous. I'm still jealous of him. Like he got to open the season, you know, play ball. It's like,
that's cool.
That's so cool.
It's funny. I've been to so many games, and like, man, I've only seen first pitch like a handful of times. We always get it late. We showed up. Well, we went and got lunch and some beers, and then went to the game. And like, I was kind of thinking that it was maybe it was like a 1:40 start, but it was a 1:10.
Oh shit!
Or hang on, maybe it was the other way around. But like, we got there early. We got there before. I'm like, what? This is weird. Like, I've never seen the the ceremonial first pitch and like
That's
all this
awesome.
stuff. I'm like, yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, it's all of it's fun. It's fucking great. So what are we, about 30 games in? Not quite 30 games. So we're about 25, about a quarter of the way through the season so far.
Yeah, it's like 28, 29, depending on the team.
Yeah, not quite a third, not quite a quarter. You're a little over a quarter.
No,
not quite a third.
No. 40's a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. 40's a quarter. All right.
Yeah. So we're maybe a fifth of the way.
All right. Fifth. Yeah. All right. So just past a fifth. So it's like you can still get away with saying it's early, but it's not that early. It's not that early. Like I'm starting to get a little alarmed about some of the pitching with the A's. Like like you said, where if we don't have one of three guys on the mound, it's probably going to be a rough day. It looked like we had a pretty decent 5-starter. I don't know how. I think he was only on the 10-day IL, but or DL. I don't know how that works, but I think he was only on the 10 days, so I don't think it's super serious. But I like the Rockies are clearly not, like I said, 130 or bust. I don't. That's yeah. I want them.
Is there a world where the Rockies don't get the record for most losses in a season this year?
I don't see it. They're so bad. They're so bad.
So like one of the other big things is there's 4 good teams in the NL West,
right?
Or like at least above average, and they play each of those 14 times a year, and so they're just walking into
a buzzsaw.
Well, I've heard collectively today on I can't remember if it was on the Tigers radio broadcast or if it was the A's broadcast, but the Rockies, their schedule going forward, their opponents collectively have a 534 win average.
That's impressive.
So they have the toughest part of their year still ahead of them, and they've only won 4 games.
They are on pace for 24 wins, 16 less than the fucking White Sox last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw something today. I wish I would have saved it. We could have looked through it a little bit, but it was how many games you played against teams under 500. And I think the Cubs had 20. They've had 20 games of teams under 500 so far.
I believe that because
I mean I know they hit the ball, but they're also playing. They're playing easy games. I think Tigers are kind of in the middle. Rockies actually are kind of at the bottom.
Rockies. I think we've only played 6 teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 6 games against teams with. I saw that same post. I'm gonna see if I can't find it.
Shit, I might have sent it to the group.
I'm looking because we said a lot of things.
Yeah, we just said a lot of things. While you guys are looking, I had the weirdest thing today. While I was waiting for you guys to hop on, I tuned into the Angels Mariners, and the Angels TV broadcast has a British dude. Like, what? I found that far more offensive than Jenny Kavnar.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, Jenny's made some bad calls, but if someone was talking like that, I'd be up in arms. I'd be actively throwing hot dogs at the Angels broadcast booth.
I kind of hate Mike Trout now just because of that dude.
Oh, you can't hate Mike Trout.
No, I don't. I don't mean it. I don't mean it, Mike Trout. That was pure comedic.
All right,
we're actually going to go see. I'm rooting on Mike Trout to be healthy till May 22nd. We're going to see him then.
I hope you do. All right, so you just got you just sent out that list. I was wrong. The Cubs are the opposite.
Mets.
The Mets have they've played 20 games below 500. The Cubs have played 0.
Oh yeah, I said the
Cubs are legit. Texas is at 3, Mariners at 6, and so like those teams might be a little bit more legit. San Diego, I mean, kind of like, and San Francisco are next, and I mean partly just because they have a strong division. But man, so maybe the Mets, the Guardians, the Twins are at 20 and 19. They might be maybe not so good. Tigers are kind of up there. I don't know.
The Twins have played 19 games against teams below 500, and they are also well below 500.
Quite a bit below 500.
The Twins are sitting
I'm glad
right
nobody
now
picked the Twins before.
Well, a lot of like projections were having them winning the division.
I know. I'm glad that none of us.
I didn't believe it. I
didn't either. And like I know you guys are kind of homers, but like, I'm kind of homers for both of your teams too, because like they're kind of like my side pieces.
Yeah, well, the same thing. I'm watching the A's now more because of you.
And so, but I'm just playing the A's are.
I've never bought the Twins, even when they had Morneau and Mauer. I'm just like, I don't believe them. Like that ain't Kirby Puckett out there. I don't buy them.
No.
Yeah. So I'm glad that none of us picked that, even though the Twins were projected pretty high. Like I don't know. I just never bought that.
Hey Matt, why don't you pull up the current standings? We can maybe just do some quick way too early predictions on if teams are legit or bad start, whatever.
I wanted to talk to you guys because the NL or the AL East looks like it's kind of gone back to normal.
Kinda like
it's really looking like the Orioles.
They kind of stink.
The Orioles have such a bad rotation. I think it's the worst in the league in ERA. They're so bad. I think they replaced Corbin Burns with Charlie Morton, and clearly that is not
that didn't work at all.
Trade off. I mean,
and
Charlie
Corbin
Morton's pretty
Burns
old.
Hasn't been great either to their credit, but he's been better than the other guy.
Yeah.
So the Yankees, I mean, we all kind of called that, but I wanted the Orioles to win it.
I did too. I mean, the Yankees, all right, so they're 18-12, and they have probably they've had like the worst closer in the league. Devin Williams is just trash. I think they pulled him out, and it's Luke Weaver again.
Well, I don't know why they went away from Weaver in the first place.
Devin Williams has been, for most of his career, lights out.
That's true, I guess, but I don't know.
But I mean, he's blown a few saves. So I mean, they could have 20 wins plus now.
And so the Sox are still pretty good. They're kind of understated, which doesn't bode well for the Yankees. When people are paying all the attention on the Yankees, they usually choke. So
I mean, Crochet looks like a Cy Young candidate here.
Yeah, I was that my pick for? I think that was my pick for AL Cy Young, wasn't it? Yeah. And then also the Rays. I know they're below 500, but they're fucking scrappy. They're scrappy as shit.
They just pulled up Chandler Simpson. Fastest man on the planet.
Yeah,
that man is the Flash. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is fast. Ellie De La Cruz is fast. This guy blows them out of the water.
It's not even
close. Like Usain Bolt running the bases.
Yeah.
Chandler, I mean, it's insane. I will say,
he gets out of the box so fast, and he gets up to speed so fast, which is interesting because he's kind of tall, right?
Yeah, he's not short, but it's really interesting because I think if you were to put him in like a 200-meter race,
he's 5'11", so he's not exactly tall. So
yeah, but he's not big.
That's not short though.
Skinny.
No, but it's probably about league average, or maybe a little bit under the average.
Really solid acceleration, so he's already at top speed.
I mean, 3 steps in, yeah. And he's just, I mean, he doesn't have that strong of a bat, but I don't think it matters because he's like beating out infield grounders.
That they fielded at third. Now I will say that Dalton Varsho catch today.
That was insane.
Bananas. That was insane.
That was insane.
It was a pretty good hit to center field. He goes out to center. He falls down, and he just like flips out his glove and he's kind of standing up as he like flips out his glove and just snags it. I mean, just the spatial awareness on that is insane.
Yeah, I don't care if we get demonetized. Like, we need to be able to show shit like that.
Show that catch, because that was phenomenal. I mean, that Dalton Varsho's always been like a platinum glover in the center field. He's got some really solid defense, but that's pulling like a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, so I'm getting logged in now, and fucking 2-factor. God damn it.
We need an intern.
I know. I need a I need a young Jamie to do this shit.
It's kind of, I don't know. I'd be curious to see the Jays and Tampa Bay, the Jays and the Rays. I don't think either of them are playoff teams, but I think that they're better than their record is showing.
I think so
Rays
too.
Always seem to be either just inside the door or just outside looking in. But this Jays team, I think it has the talent. It just has to put it together, and I think they need a better rotation, a better bullpen. I think they're like 2 or 3 solid pitchers in relief and starting that they're going to make a decent run.
That's a big ask.
It is a big ask. However, if you look at the Royals last year compared to the 2023 season, they stocked up their roster. They brought in Brady Singer. They brought in Seth Lugo.
Yeah,
what was that?
But season started. I mean, they're not getting anyone unless they dump their farm system.
What's that guy's name from the Jays, real quick?
Dalton Varsho.
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 Okay.
It's a drive to deep center. Varsho back. And did he catch that ball? He caught it.
It's crazy.
Also, Dalton Varsho looks like if a dinosaur was a person. If a T-Rex was a human, it would be Dalton Varsho.
I
mean, now I can't unsee it.
He fell and he caught that backspin that he seems to normally have. Here's a drive to deep center. Varsho back. And did he catch that ball? He caught that ball.
He just turned around. He's like, I don't know. Like, how is that? He's just like, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, I've seen that clip probably like 15 times now, and it's still surprising every single time that he gets there.
Well, and you don't realize, like, he didn't just like stumble. Like he tripped and rolled over. Like normally that throws off your spatial awareness.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said.
He did a whole last somersault and was able to know where the ball was coming to stick out his glove.
That's wild. Just absolutely wild. Great.
I still think I can play center field in the majors though. So
all right, you want to go back to the standings?
Little arms.
Yeah, real quick. I'm going to show the walk-off from the other day because I thought that was really cool.
I mean, I always love a walk-off.
So on this one in particular, the batter before Urias, he hit a single into center, and I forget Tavares, I think it was the center fielder for the Rangers, bobbled it, and because of that he got to second. And then my boy Jacob Wilson, old school high sock throwback, on base Johnny Hustle motherfucker. That was the first walk-off in Sacramento.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
I don't know. If you don't like that, you don't like baseball, and I don't like you. So it's just I don't know. Shit like that's cool. Even if it's not my team, like there's nothing cooler than a walk-off. Like I said, the walk-off home run is the coolest, but something like that is also and then that song, that's his walk-up song. So like I made the reel and scored it with the the play-by-play call. And I don't know that there's something about a great play-by-play, whether it's radio, TV, whatever, but like, I don't know, it just adds all to it. It's when you got a good one, it's a good call. It's a good call. And that was a fucking great call.
That's also a good walk-up song too.
Oh yeah, it's a great walk-up song.
So I mean, that's something that talk about a bunch. It's kind of Tigers seem to have like a bunch of more country boys out there playing like country for their walk-up. And honestly, I mean, like I don't really like country anyways, but it doesn't like
you kind of like it now, don't you?
No.
No. Fuck yeah! All right,
but like maybe they can choose something. I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't have enough like background in. But like they're not good. They're not like good like pump up songs or anything like that. Or like
well, and if you're gonna do country, you got to have the right country song.
Yeah, I'm sure there's better options.
The song this year is "White Horse" by Chris Stapleton, and it's at this point so many people are using it that it's no longer what I would say a good walk-up song.
Yeah, so, I mean, like
it's
so Max Muncy
like
and the
advertisement music.
Max Muncy and the Dodgers Max Muncy, not the A's Max Muncy, even though they're the same birthday and they're actually they're hitting the same splits right now too. Not great splits, but they're
190.
But Max Muncy for the Dodgers has that Shabuzi song, and it's a fucking great walk-up song. And I was like,
that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. And some people will give me shit for Shabuzi's not country. They're like, well, if fucking Rascal Flatts is country, Shabuzi's way more country than that. So fuck off. That's a banger of a song. It doesn't mean shit, but it's a banger of a song. The songs don't always have to mean shit. If they sound good, they sound good.
And there's some good. I mean, there's some really good ones. Like I forget who did it, but someone, I think it was on the A's. Someone had a "Careless Whisper," which is just kind of like like the anti walk-up song, but it was cool because everyone in the crowd is getting into it. But some of the best I've heard is. Xander Bogaerts uses DMX. X gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
like that's a good one.
That's a great one.
The catcher Will Smith used to use the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Theme song.
So me and my son, we go every 2 weeks. We go get a haircut. We go to town, and then we were. On the other day, we got a haircut and we're coming back and we're discussing walk-up songs because we do that for the little leaguers here. And he was wanting, like last year he did Old Town Road, and I was like, you need a better walk-up song, dude. And he's like, well, I like Old Town Road. I was like, but it's not pump you up. And I was like, so we settled on like we're listening to some AC/DC, and he's like, I like these. And then we went, I was like, well, let's go back to, senior year of high school, Matt McKinley. We're going POD. Here Comes the Boom. And so that's his walk-up song now. And it's pretty fucking rad. It's a great walk-up song.
Yeah, I think another like good thing about, or having like a good idea to think about when you're picking a walk-up song is like songs that people know too.
Yeah. Like, you don't want, if it's going to be obscure, it's got to be something you're going to remember.
Yeah.
But if it's obscure and you're just like, what the fuck? Like it's not going to make I don't know. But it's also got to be your song, but I don't know. You still, like, you're going up trying to hit a home run. So, like, pick appropriately. All right. So back to the standings. Now that we went on another tangent. I love tangents though. It's what makes the show. Wait, we've been averaging 20 viewers. It says most of them are on Twitter. So I don't know how much I believe those numbers, but anyhow, we got some people listening. Central, the Tigers are rolling. Skubal looks like
Thanks, Sean.
Dominant, dude.
Yeah, before the last couple of days, they had 4 starters under a 3 ERA. I think they got one of the best rotations out there, and usually the bullpen's been pretty good, but they've kind of fucked it up the last couple of days, or last week. But I think they're good. I think they're probably maybe not as good as the record shows, but I think they're good. I think Casey and Cleveland are maybe a little bit. I think they'll be fighting. Those top 3 are going to be fighting all year long. Cleveland looks a little bit better than I thought they might. Man, the Twins and the White Sox. I can't believe the Twins have 13 wins, and I can't believe that the White Sox have 6 wins. So,
I don't know. I honestly think the Tigers are going to run away this year.
I hope so.
I hope the Royals are going to be a not super distant second, but I don't think it's going to be this down to the wire like it was last season. Although, I mean, Cleveland did kind of run away with it in September. I think Detroit's going to have that healthy lead the whole season. I think the Royals and the Guardians might make some pushes. But honestly, the Tigers are the most complete team in the AL Central. And, I mean, when you have Tarik Skubal and Jackson Jobe pitching at the top of their game, you've got,
I mean, Flaherty and Olsen are
right there with you.
All right, so let's look at this last 10. 3-7 for the White Sox, which is not great. But for the White Sox, I mean, did they win 30% of their games last year? I don't think so. So 3 out of 10's not bad. But the rest of them are in plus territory for the last 10. So like the
Royals
Twins are
had the longest winning streak at 6 before it got snapped by the Astros on Sunday night.
This looks a lot like the AL West, which is we don't have the bottom stinker team like the White Sox, but if you look at, I mean, the Tigers are head and shoulders. So like you average those two out, and you've got the AL West, which is
insane.
I mean, that's a dogfight. The Angels just lost again tonight to the Mariners, which puts the Mariners a half game up over the Astros. But the last place is at 12-15 and 3.5 games back.
I mean, that's so close. It's close. Crazy. I mean, Angels are only 3.5 back.
Yeah,
in last place.
The A's are at 500 and they're 2 games back.
And they went on a bad streak there, so I mean it's close. Yeah. Mariners.
Mariners have they've been coming on here lately.
I think they've been like a top 3 offense in the last week and a half or so.
They've been a top 5 for sure. Like a 850 OPS or some shit like that.
Yeah, they've been hitting the ball, and their pitching is probably underperforming right now. So they might.
Well, their pitching has been kind of off all year. Like I remember because the A's opened at Seattle, and we split that series with them. And because I was kind of worried, but they, I mean. The A's have a good lineup. I'm not gonna lie. Like they can mash. But the Mariners have a fucking nasty rotation, but they haven't been that great so far this year.
No, I mean, their big, their best player by far right now is Cal Riley. Dude is just crushing the ball. Which is not exactly what you think about the Mariners. You always think about the pitching, but. J-Rod's been off too. Yeah, he's not been, but they've I don't know, they brought in Edgar Martinez as their hitting coach, and
it seems like it's fucking helped. So I don't like that move. Being a newfound A's fan, I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, the Mariners have been pretty good, but they're at 16-12, and yeah, I mean that. I can't say there's a really, really good team in this division, but that's a really good division, honestly. For the Angels, are not great, but they started out fine. I don't know. I wouldn't count them out until Trout gets hurt, and I don't want that to happen.
They spent a ton of money in the offseason. I think it shows, even though they're in last place. I think that's a much better team than they've been recently.
They've been okay. So I don't know, that AL West is a fun division. I'm like for a team that doesn't have a whole lot of aspirations in the A's right now, they're right in the mix, and it could get real fun down the stretch. So we'll see how it goes. I hope they got to figure something out with the pitching. They've been bouncing players all over the place. Like Soderstrom was drafted as a catcher, that he's been playing first, and then they moved him to third. They recently put him in left field, and it seems like maybe that's where he's going to play. But they had to make room for Nick Kurtz, who plays first.
And he can pretty much only play first.
I think so. But then you got like Andujar, who's fucking raking right now, and he can kind of play anywhere. And for that, like they've been he's been like a rotational guy, and you're like, well, you should just put that guy in your everyday lineup, because he's been hitting the fuck out of the ball. So don't leave him on the bench. And but then you're like, I don't know, where does everybody play? And so when they sent Max Muncy down to AAA, and then they've got another guy coming off what's Jake, you would know better than I do, but I think he was second baseman.
I forget. I know what you're talking about. I forget his name.
Geloff or something.
Yeah, Zach Geloff.
Yeah. So he should be coming back here soon, and I've never seen him play, so I don't know anything about him, but I've heard a lot.
He's
pretty good. Steals a lot of bases,
and he's quick.
Yeah,
he's not going to be batting more than like 275, 280.
Fine, not even that.
But he's consistent. He's a consistent 250 to 270 batter who's going to play solid defense and who's going to be productive on the base path.
We need a solid defense for sure. So, but then you get, I don't know. They gotta figure out some shit in the bullpen, and probably need to get another two starters until, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not great. So, but it's a fun division. I have no remorse of ditching the Rockies this year. Like, I have no remorse whatsoever. And actually, I'm still tuning in the Rockies because I want them to lose. If we're gonna be this bad, like, let's fucking do it.
Well, it just sucks because it's not like we're tanking for like the next LeBron James of baseball.
No.
We're not going to get the next Shohei Ohtani because we suck.
No, tank for the fans.
For the Rockies' luck, we're going to have the principle of it next year. Like, it's not going to matter if we have the most losses ever in baseball. We might not even make it to 10 wins. It does not matter. Because the fucking owners aren't going to sell the team. They're not going to change what they're doing in the front office. You have one or two really solid players. You got Ezekiel Tovar. If he continues to have the season that he's having, the odds of him being a Rocky next year are next to none. They're going to do what they did with Tulo, with Nolan Arenado, with Carlos Gonzalez, and they're going to ship him out. As soon as – the Rockies are like Wyoming. They export all their talent, and they complain that they have nobody on the team. So – I don't know. The Rockies losing every game, I think, would be a really fun thing to have the record. But the A's didn't sell their team, even though everybody wanted them to stay in Oakland. The Rockies aren't going to sell the team because the Monforts make money. The Rockies have fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they keep selling a ton of tickets.
And they're cheap tickets. It's not like the Rockies aren't an expensive stadium. The food's pretty cheap, and it's a fun atmosphere. So no matter what, they're going to sell tickets. But at this point, the Rockies are just a minor league team with a real stadium.
Boom.
All right.
Boom. I can't really argue any of that, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's some parts I might wanna, if I was gonna be real nitpicky, but I mean that closing line that's kind of right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the team I grew up, close to Denver. That was like that. We would go to Rockies games all the time. And it didn't matter if we won or lost, the bleacher seats were full. You could sit up on the upper deck in a July afternoon and it's 95 degrees and it's full.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit older. I also grew up in Denver Metro.
Same here, but I don't know.
Like there's the Bronx Bomber or the Blake Street Bombers.
Yeah.
And man, it was they gave up a ton of runs, but man, they crushed the ball. It was fun.
Fuck yeah, they would. Well, and then they had a chance to be really good several times, and they just didn't do anything, and you're just like, why not? Because you've got not just the city behind you, but you got a whole fucking region behind you.
Yeah,
because I mean, you're in a pretty unique market where the Broncos,
Wyoming, Utah, New Mexico.
Yeah, because there's nothing else out there, so.
Kansas.
And then Denver in itself is just a great sports town in general. You had a great go out and get a few pieces when you had Helton and Tulo and when you had no pitchers, go find some somebody, some good singer baller.
The only Denver professional sports franchise in the 21st century did not win a championship. That includes professional lacrosse, indoor and outdoor. That includes hockey, basketball.
Denver?
Yes. Back when the Mammoth and the Outlaws were both in Denver. This was early 2010s.
So how professional was that? Because I can't.
It was a significant league. A whole lot. They lost funding, but when I say professional, I mean it was Major League Lacrosse, and then they had
some games. It was
professional lacrosse. I mean that's still a major league. The MLS, the Colorado Rapids won the MLS in 2010. Nuggets and Avs 22 and 23. The Broncos in 2015, and the Rockies made it to the World Series in 2007 and got swept by the Red Sox.
I don't even want to talk about it, please.
They had a
I don't either.
That one still hurts.
Oh,
it does still hurt.
Me and Jake were at the Ramskiller for a couple of those games, feeling really dejected.
Yes.
Because we were there for every one of those games at the Ramskiller.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, and then the World Series, we were also there, and you're just like, oh, fuck. And then to see him celebrate at Coors Field, and you're just like, oh, fuck you guys. That was miserable.
Those are
I mean, at least they made it, but whatever.
Let's move on to something.
Yeah, the East. The Mets are cooking right now.
They're cooking.
Alonso's amazing.
Their pitching staff has been outstanding.
Soto has not.
Soto is just kind of there, huh?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I saw a stat. Oh my gosh, now I can't think of his name. He's now with the Yankees. He's got 8 homers. It's 63 at bats. He's hitting 365. And Soto has 1 homer in almost twice as many at bats. It's pretty insane. To see.
I mean, he's still above average. I mean, he's still got an OPS of 127. He's not bad.
He's not bad, but he's not playing
Soto.
The Soto that everybody expected him to be.
And I think though, I think he's good enough that it'll work out. But
I
think Alonso's mashing. Lindor's like Lindor every year. I think one of the nice spots is Luis Angel Acuna. Rookies, like he's doing pretty good.
Yeah,
he's about average, but like that's good for a rookie.
Well, and they beat the shit out of the Diamondbacks today. So I mean they're just cooking. The Phillies, I was listening to a couple of other podcasts and they were kind of like a little bit down on the Phillies, but I mean they're still 16-13. I mean, I don't see the Mets sustaining that type. I mean, they're obviously not gonna end with a 700 win average, but so that they'll come back down to earth a little bit. And I
think Harper's down. I mean, he's not quite as good as he's been recently.
No, but
not bad, but he's the same thing with like Soto. Like you expect a little bit more out of him.
Yeah.
But Schwarber's mashing again.
And then also it's still April.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's we were talking earlier, like it's early. It's not that early, but it's still pretty fucking early.
And I mean they got a nice rotation too, so
yeah. So like there's I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's kind of early enough to see if somebody's completely out of it or if somebody's really for real. Where like I think the Mets are for real. I don't necessarily think they win the East, but I think they're for real.
I mean, I kind of think they're right at this point.
I think they could, but like it's early enough where I think the Phillies could. They still have a chance, and I mean the Braves, they're a game under 500, so compared to where they started, what's the word on Strider? Is he coming back or is he done for a while?
I thought that was just like a short-term injury.
Okay.
It was a quad injury, or hamstring, which I don't know if you've ever seen Strider. I can't believe that he's got some monster legs. Like,
he's like the quad father. Yeah, he's the quad father. Thick thighs save lives. So, all right. So, they're like I said, they're a game. They're 6.5 back to the division.
Well, and Acuna's coming back soon, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Strider should be back within like the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay. It's just a grade 1 strain. So it's just kind of a rest and let it kind of fix itself. So he should be throwing back at.
I want to throw a little something out here before we move on. If there's anybody out there listening that is interested in like not being on the show, but being like our little stats nerd for when we say stuff like that, so we don't have to look it up and you can just like put it in the chat or something, that would be cool. If anybody's interested, we'd love your help. But all that being said, like the Braves are stacked and they
are one of the best teams on paper in the league.
And once they're back to full health, I think things will change for him.
And Schwellenbach is that dude's he's a tank.
Yeah, he's got some great stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not like that. The NL East is still wide open. Even the Marlins are kind of hanging in there. It's not going to last, but they're kind of hanging in there.
The Marlins have the same record ish as the Angels, and I mean the Marlins for at this point have 3 times the amount of wins as the Rockies, and close to twice as many wins as the White Sox. So in terms of being the 3rd worst team, they're not the 3rd worst team by a lot.
Yeah. And that is autism explained.
I don't really know much about Washington necessarily. I know James Wood is having a really nice year, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's kind of all I know about them too. They
MVP is their social media guy. He likes to call out the MLB for not capitalizing their highlights and only going after Judge and Ohtani. I love their Twitter guy.
He's pretty good.
But yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else to cover with the Nationals. Marlins are they're gonna trade off pretty much everybody here fairly shortly, I'd imagine, because that's what they do. The Central, so the Reds are at 16-13. I've not watched the Reds really at all this year.
Hunter Green is dealing.
Hunter Green
Ellie DeGruz does something amazing every single game.
And this is, I wish the MLB would pay us because I'm gonna plug their shit. Like, you can follow Hunter Green and then get a notification on your phone when he's pitching, and I'm going to do that because I haven't seen him pitch yet, but I've been hearing all this stuff about him, and I want to. I like seeing some young ace. Yeah, let's go. Let's see what do you got.
He reminds me a lot of vintage Reds Aroldis Chapman. Like early 2010s Aroldis Chapman, when he was really the only one putting triple digits on the gun. That's who Hunter Green kind of reminds me of. He's got
when they tried to make Chapman a starter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, he's got that. I mean, he hurls the ball. Paul Skeens has got like that dialed in, accuracy and everything.
He's got crazy pitches. Crazy movement.
Hunter Green just throws it as hard as he can, and most of the time it works.
Nice. I like that. I don't hate that at all. Like I like a true, I respect the fuck out of like a Greg Maddux where he could just put anything where he wants at any time. It's not gonna be super fast, but it's gonna have all sorts of movement on it. And then I also like, fuck you, come get it. Just come get it.
Well,
that's what I like about Skubal is he's got such great stuff, but also fuck you, try and get this. That high and tight.
I was just looking at this. I forgot. Gavin Lux is crushing the ball this year.
All right. Yeah, they're kind of. I'm gonna have to.
Ball, but he's leading the league in batting average right now.
Nice. I'm gonna have to pay attention to the Reds. I'm gonna put that on my list of teams to watch this year or listen to.
I mean, at least the Hunter Green games.
Yeah. Like that's a good way to go about listening to other teams. It's like find their ace and listen to that game. Like that's a good way to go. Like the Brewers, I've got a little bit familiar with them because they had a series with the A's, and they're a scrappy Midwestern team. Like they always are. Like the Brewers are still the Brewers. They can hit a little bit. They got some power. They got pretty decent pitching, and then they'll small ball you to death.
All right, so the Cardinals, man, they're
a joke franchise.
Their front office is as bad as the Rockies. They have probably 3 players in AAA who should be up. Who some of them they sent down. Like they sent down one of their best.
I heard that the other day.
Like for no apparent reason. Maybe they're trying to do some like service time manipulation on like a rookie or something like that. But like they got players who should be up, and they're leaving them in AAA. They're not trying to put their best team on the field. It's embarrassing.
And Arenado he wants out of there, right?
Sort of, but he did block some trades. Like he blocked a trade to he blocked a trade Detroit. He's maybe a little bit better than he was last year right now. But I would have loved to see him in Detroit.
However, who do you guys have at third right now in Detroit?
It depends on the day, but Jace Young, rookie. And then if it's a lefty, lefty pitcher is Ibanez. But we got like three guys who like rotate in there.
Wasn't Arenado like kind of auditioning for the Red Sox job?
Yeah.
And then they took Bregman, which is like, I mean,
yeah, why
solid choice. Bregman? What's that?
Why wouldn't you take Bregman?
Right, like he crushes at Fenway, so yeah. And he's younger.
And he looks like an MVP candidate right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was a solid choice. So man, the Rockies did Nolan Arenado so dirty. Like they really
did. I don't know. I'm looking at his baseball savant stuff, and he's above average in K percentage, walk percentage, and whiff percentage. But it doesn't seem like he's putting a lot of balls. He's getting a lot of hits on his balls in play.
His barrel rate's down. I don't know what his BABIP is, but barrel rate's down.
Yeah, his bat speed is looking just kind of mediocre, average, and his average exit velocity is super low. So he's making a lot of contact. He's just hitting it little like high cheap fly balls to left field and in the infield. So I don't know. Again, I think Arenado is coasting. He's able to stay on top defensively. I mean, he's still, one of the best third basemen in the game.
Oh, he had this great play. Ran up on a grounder towards him, and kind of towards the pitcher, running towards the pitcher, like falling away from home, like nailed the guy at home to win the game.
Nice.
Or maybe not win the game, but save the winning run.
Nice. Yeah, when he's also, how old is he now?
32, 33.
Yeah, so I mean he's getting up there where like
34, he's 34.
Yeah, so he's like getting up in that DH range. So, and he's
but the thing is, like, I kind of wanted him just to play defense and not hit.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he's still a good.
Yeah, he's a great defensive player, but he's been hurt here lately, hasn't he?
I'm not actually sure about that one.
I'm not. I could be talking out my ass, but I don't know. But also, 34 and defense is great. It really is but in baseball, like, if you can't at least get on base, you're kind of dead weight almost.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's kind of weird. Jake, you'll know a little more so than Jordan. Us creeping up on the 40s, where you're like, oh yeah, I remember when that guy was good, and then he's like our age and running out of gas.
Yeah,
you're like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
You're like, man, can you imagine if you like that was your normal job and you just ran out of gas at 36 and you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'm just done now.
Yeah,
isn't that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm already done.
Oh, that's by choice.
Yeah, fine. I'd really be done if I had that $150 million salary over the last 10 years, though. Like, Arenado.
Yeah, no shit.
Man, all right. So the Pirates.
Skeens. How's O'Neal Cruz doing?
Okay, O'Neal Cruz is one of the best hitters in baseball. He's got 8 home runs. He's leading the league in stolen bases. he's got like a 914 OPS, and he's one of the worst center fielders in the league. And so
his defense wasn't that bad like 2 years ago.
Well, he played shortstop then.
He's a classic American League guy.
Well, why are they? I guess why are they putting him at center field then and not?
Because I think he had a. Well, I'm not sure, but I think his personnel.
Andrew McCutcheon still there? Andrew McCutcheon is a
McCutcheon's actually having a nice offensive season.
I know it's kind of.
He's mostly DH now, isn't he?
No, he's playing in right field.
Huh.
I think they should switch him because McCutcheon's kind of like that Dexter Fowler at this point where.
Okay, so their outfielders are Pham, McCutcheon, and Cruz, and none of them are good. None of them are good at. Yeah, but none of them are good outfielders. At least not anymore. McCutcheon's like fine in right, but like he's
serviceable. I don't know. I'd rather have McCutcheon in center and Cruz in right, just because like even if McCutcheon doesn't have that same range, he's got the know-how. You couldn't ask me to play shortstop. I was a lifetime center fielder. If you put me at shortstop, I'd be airmailing first base every single throw because I don't know how to throw short distance.
Yeah, well, it's the opposite for Cruz.
Yeah, exactly.
So shortstop.
Why are you playing? I don't know. It's like putting a catcher in the outfield. Like there's no reason. The positions don't correlate.
Well, speaking of which, Tyler Soderstrom is playing left field. He was drafted as a catcher.
Yes,
and he's had 2 games there. I didn't get to watch the game today, but he didn't have an error, so he played pretty well the other day. So I think he's just kind of an athlete. His averages has definitely slipped, but he's still leading the league or the team in RBIs, and I think he's got 9 home runs at this point. So he's mashing the ball still.
Yeah, like O'Neal Cruz is obviously just an athlete too, but I think he just doesn't know that position well enough to be playing there.
Right. Well, and that should be obvious. Like, and that seems like a managerial issue.
Yeah, I'm looking at this roster and like it just doesn't seem like they have the outfielders to like not do that, and the infield's like set pretty much.
Do they have anybody just like up? Like, do they have anybody at AAA who could conceivably play center?
Maybe, but then like you're bouncing someone. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird. Like the way to do it is like pull someone up. Even if they're not that bad, they got to be better than Tommy Pham at this point, and move O'Neal Cruz over to left.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
that's a rough one. I don't know. That team's not that good anyway. So like,
who do they have at short right now?
Isaiah
for
Brian Hayes. I guess as bad as
he's third base. He's Gold Glove third baseman.
Yeah, as bad as the A's have been on defense, like they're so much better than the Pirates. Like you're like, all right, well, it could definitely be worse. It could definitely be worse. How long is Paul Skeens in Pittsburgh?
Until he's out of arbitration.
He's got
another 4 years.
Oh, okay.
3 years, maybe.
All right, well, throw your elbow out now so you can get it redone before free agency.
Yeah.
Fuck. That sucks. And they're not going to do anything to help him, are they?
No.
All right. Well, NL West is just a fucking it's a gauntlet. Fuck.
The Dodgers are at 19-10 and like
138 winning percentage.
The Dodgers are at 19-10 and they're like their entire like starting rotation is injured. Like
it's the same thing as it was last year. It's like they're just gonna limp into the playoffs with their awesome fucking team and no pitching, and then still somehow win a World Series. Fuck the Dodgers. God damn it.
I mean, the Giants actually look good.
They look really good this year. Does it sustain? I've got them.
Probably not like this, but I think I think the Padres are better than them.
I think so too.
Padres
I think the Diamondbacks are better. I honestly, I think I got the Giants at 4.
I mean, it's like the middle 3 there could like swap in any position.
I think it's Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Giants, and that could change next week. I don't know, but as of right now, I think the D-backs have. So the Padres have got King has been going good. Cease has been like he had a couple of rough starts. I think he's still pretty good.
Definitely.
Pavetta has been excellent.
Yeah.
And then their bullpen has been good. Diamondbacks have the best closer in baseball right now. They got Gallen. And Corbin Burns he's not been bad, but he's not been great this year.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he's going to get better.
I would think so. Who else is on that rotation? But Corbin Carroll is playing out of his fucking mind. He tracked down a fly ball at center field the other day with a handful of sunflower seeds, like a fucking boss.
It was so funny because he makes his catch look routine, and then all of a sudden you just see him stuffing his mouth.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, and he lost his hat because he was running so fucking fast.
Yeah. So the rest of that rotation is Brandon Pfaadt. I don't know.
Yeah, Pfaadt.
Yeah, and then Eduardo Rodriguez.
So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I think the Giants are pretty legit. I think the whole NL West is legit. But like I said, it could change week to week. But I think I got Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Giants, and then I wish the Rockies would be playing high school teams or something.
I mean, it's crazy. Like I wouldn't be. I mean, I think there's 4 players in that division that could win a MVP this year.
Oh yeah,
Ohtani, Jung-Hoo Lee, Tatis, and Carroll.
Yeah, easily. It's retarded. NLS is retarded. It's literally the worst year ever to be a Rockies fan.
Yeah,
it is the worst because they're going to be talking about the NL West all fucking year, except for the Rockies. And
they'll probably be talking about the Rockies, but just because they're on a historically bad run.
It's up to us to hype up 130 or bust. 130 or bust. And on that note, you guys want to take a little leak and we'll do a little draft recap?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll be right back. Jake, I had an excellent idea while I was pissing. We should make a corny 90s baseball movie, but directed for millennial men. So like take the Bad News Bears, but like put it in our sense of humor. Like just make it just raunchy and nasty as possible, but make it about the Rockies. So take like Rookie of the Year, Major League, or any of those type of movies where it's the evil owner. And we got the Monforts. We got the Monforts, and then just like get a ragtag cast of fuck ups for the team. But they don't win in the end. they lose 130 games.
Awesome.
We should if anybody's got if anybody knows like a screenwriter or whatever, like I think that's a solid idea. I think that would crush on YouTube. Remember like there was so many of those like really cheesy baseball movies in the 90s, like, and I'm not including Sandlot in those because Sandlot is one of the greatest motion pictures ever made. But like Little Big League, and then Rookie of the Year, and
I love Rookie of the Year.
I do too. I like they're cheesy as fuck though. Like just like Angels in the Outfield. Angels in the Outfield is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's cheesy as fuck.
That movie was on crack cocaine, quite literally.
So I didn't follow much. I mean, I didn't watch any of the draft. I just I'd look on my phone from now and then. But Shadur Sanders went in the 5th round to the Browns, which is kind of funny.
It's rough. Dion tweeted out that anyone that gets drafted to the Browns should force
a trade going Eli Manning.
Yeah.
A little rough. I don't know. Was there anything real exciting about the draft? Like, I don't know. It seemed like,
I mean, that's really the big.
That was kind of it. I don't know. It seemed like, was there anybody that like really fucked up on the draft? I didn't hear of any of that.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say on this topic. I did watch a little bit of it just because it was on at the bar.
No, it's a relevant topic, but I'm kind of same with you. I was just like, I don't know. It seemed like for this year, it was like everything kind of made sense for the most part. I didn't think Shadur Sanders would fall that far, but it was kind of funny that he did.
I mean, I like not that long ago, he was looking at like a top 10 pick maybe.
Yeah, and like 5th round seems like a little drastic, and then the guy from the Browns is like, I mean, the value there, I couldn't pass it up, and like, well, fuck yeah, like if I
can't believe it didn't
happen. The Browns put Dylan. I was surprised that Dylan Gabriel went before Shadur. I was also surprised that Tyler Shuck went before Shadur. I don't think Shadur was above a 4th round, 3rd round kind of guy, but the fact that the Browns took Dylan Gabriel and then 2 picks later immediately took Shadur, I thought was interesting. I mean, right now their quarterback room has Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel,
extremely mobile, athletic quarterback Joe Flacco,
40-year-old Joe Flacco,
extremely young Joe Flacco.
Yes.
I mean, I think Sanders is the best out of that group.
I don't disagree. That's why I was surprised that he fell. I think his biggest flaw is his timing. And
I think his biggest flaw is that he's at the Browns.
Well, definitely.
His biggest flaw that he can work on right now.
Well, I think Shedeur Sanders could be a pretty decent quarterback. I don't think he was a first round pick.
Absolutely not.
I'm surprised like someone didn't take a flyer on him at like the end of the first or the beginning of the second.
That is same thing. I'm really shocked he made it past the second. Because
like the beginning of the second, I mean, you got bad teams. There's a lot of bad teams that needed.
So many worse players that went before him. There's many worse players.
So I mean, there's a couple things that I think probably went into that. But
how shitty was he in his interviews?
Well, that's the thing. So there's the one scout that came out like with the interview, and honestly, I don't really always take their advice on some certain players. I mean, it's not that long ago that there's still scouts that are trying to get Lamar Jackson to switch to a wide receiver or like a running back.
Yeah.
He's got 2 MVPs.
Right. But then there was also the ones that try to make Tim Tebow a tight end, and he's got 1 playoff win, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they should have made Tim Tebow a
Hall of Famer.
Dude, Tim Tebow would have been a great fucking baseball player if he would have focused on that.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't good, but considering you're I mean, that ain't bad.
I think he would have been a better baseball player than a football player.
I think you're right, honestly, because like I said, he wasn't good with his little stint with the Mets, but considering it wasn't that bad.
He also wasn't playing baseball.
That's what I'm saying.
Give him a couple years in the minors, he might have been okay.
He might have been like a polar bear, maybe not quite that good, but that guy's a good athlete, so he'd been all right. But yeah, it's I think that's a hot take of the year. I think that's a great take. Tim Tebow would have been a better baseball player than a football player if he would have just done that. I don't know of any big misses or anything, but yeah, I think I don't know. The NFL's the owners are pretty fickle too. So if he pissed one owner off that bad, it's not that. I mean, look at Kaepernick or Ray Rice or any of the guys that got pushed out of the league.
Well, Ray Rice stuffed out his wife on camera.
Well, that is true. That is true. But then she also stuck with him and whatever. And then we also have Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt who are still in the league post Ray Rice for the same shit, just not on camera.
Yeah. Yes, I understand.
So, yeah, I mean, all of that, yeah, whatever. It is wild that Shedeur Sanders went in the 5th round because he was I don't know, he just had I wonder how bad that interview was, to piss off people that much.
Well, so
or was it Dion, or was it just Dion?
I think it might be a little bit Dion, but also I heard I think it was the Giants coach was trying to trip him up in an interview, and he kind of called him out on it, and he got a little pissed about it.
Well, so apparently, Brian Daboll is notoriously hard on quarterbacks. It's why Josh Allen is Josh Allen today. Brian Daboll sent him film to study so that they could discuss it and see where he was. And according to the report, Shedeur didn't do shit with it. And I think it has a lot to do with how he was prepared by Dion, because Dion's whole thing is he's a personality guy. He didn't prepare for games, and he didn't, go the extra mile. He didn't care that much about film. He was a freak athlete enough that he could get away with it. And I think
this sounds like Jamarcus Russell.
I don't think you're wrong. But I think Shedeur went into these interviews kind of, acting like his dad.
Well, see, I don't necessarily.
Yeah, but you can do that when you're like a D-back.
Right.
When you're a quarterback, you're the head of the offense, and you need to, know that playbook.
Yeah, like you need to be Peyton Manning in the hot tub with a helmet on.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. Like you need to be Zach Greinke cleaning his cleats off at the mound so he can, you kind of have to have that type of mentality when you're the guy, and especially not just the quarterback, but like you're the face of the franchise whenever they draft you in the first round. Like you're the guy, especially at quarterback. So I don't know. I don't. Who knows what was said and all of that. It seems wild that they passed on that amount of talent for that long.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's clearly more talent than a 5th round pick.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm kind of surprised that the Raiders didn't take him in the 2nd round. I thought that might happen
for real. I mean,
like that round.
Probably would have been a good spot for Shedeur, honestly.
Well, yes, and I mean they got Gino.
Brock Bowers.
They got Gino now, but
yeah.
Gino's also like 33. Like, I know he doesn't have that many miles on him because he's kind of been a career backup until Seattle. But
and he had one really good year, and then he's had a couple of okay years or decent years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you might not start him the first year. But that would have been a good place for him.
Gino will bridge that gap pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they take a quarterback? The Raiders get a quarterback at all?
I don't think they did. I mean, they got Genty in the first round.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see like how he does in the NFL because he comes from like Mountain West with maybe not the best opponents, but he's
also not the best offensive line either.
Sure.
But within the Mountain West, he had the best offensive line. So.
Yeah. The talent's clear. Like, see if it translates.
Yeah, so and then also how much of that has that mileage added up?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of that is open space running.
Yeah, but also, I mean, same thing with like he's kind of like a Saquon type deal, where like Saquon had a lot of miles on him coming out of Penn State, but he's, same type of deal. He's I don't know. He's that guy. So I think Genty is too. Like he's a stud. So I don't think that was a great pick for the Raiders. So
I mean, they need a running back.
I think it's a good replacement for Josh Jacobs. Now the Raiders did select 2 quarterbacks. Actually, they selected Tommy Mellott and Cam Miller, who. Tommy Mallott's out of Montana.
Who are they?
Cam Miller's out of SDSU. They played each other in the FCS National Championship. They drafted Mellott as a wide receiver, but he is a quarterback. He was playing quarterback at Montana State. But both of them are big dual threat quarterbacks, kind of on the ground guys. Slightly shorter Taysom Hills. So I'm curious what they're going to do with that. But they selected them back to back, but they did take JJ Pegues from Ole Miss, and he was that giant D tackle that they kept handing the ball off to at the 2-yard line to just bowl over people. So I'm curious. Maybe you're trying to build an army of just big dudes run across. Like, you just got 6 guys in the backfield, everybody else is on the line. You don't know who they're handing it off to, but they're all punishing. So. And they took a couple wide receivers, aside from Mellott. So I think, I don't know. They took Jack Betts, the guy out of TCU whose brother went to Princeton and died at the terrorist attack in New Orleans. They took him in the 2nd round. So they were pretty high on him.
Huh.
So it'll be interesting to see how he does, coming out of there.
Well, I'm glad they just don't pick the fastest guy at the combine now.
No shit, huh? Do you think Mark Davis wanted to?
Yeah, I think they probably lost.
There's more an Al Davis thing.
Yeah, okay. All right, so how did the Broncos do? How did we do, Jordan?
I honestly really like our draft class.
First round was that D-back out of Texas. What's his name?
Yes. Now I can't think. Barron.
Oh yeah, that's right, Barron.
Jahdae Barron out of Texas. Now I really like this pick because it reminds me of the Brandon Roby pick. Because
he was ranked way higher, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I mean, he was the best cornerback in the class by Pro Football Focus's rankings. I really like this pick because you've already got Riley Moss and you have Pat Surtain, who is arguably the best cornerback in the entire league by and large. I think it's kind of like that Brandon Roby pick when we had Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr., where we're just recreating the no-fly zone. And
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it. I don't know. I think that they could have maybe done better. That they took RJ Harvey out of UCF at running back. I don't think he's. I don't know. He's. It
seemed like a stretch. Like would he have been there in the third round?
I think he would have been.
That's kind of what I
honestly. And I mean, they picked him at pick 60, which is almost the third round, anyways. I don't know. I liked RJ Harvey. I just don't think he's the best value at that pick for what other teams were able to get after him. But it'll be interesting. I mean, the Broncos.
Well, didn't Scatabo go after him?
What was that?
Didn't Scatabo go after Harvey?
Yes. Cam Scatabo went after him. I really wanted Scatabo after Genty got off the board early. I was really hoping the Broncos would go with Scatabo because he's more of a Christian McCaffrey type guy than Genty is. Kind of, or maybe more like that Andy Janovich, Kyle Juszczyk type.
Well, how is Harvey out of the backfield? Because Sean Payton is like he's not shy about throwing to the running backs.
Honestly, I don't remember seeing a lot of game film on him catching out of the backfield. I know that at UCF they do run some of those options pretty often. So I'm assuming he has some ability. He's very quick.
Okay.
He's not kind of the bowling ball that Genty, Hampton, or Scatabo kind of play as. He's a little bit more shifty. So I don't know. The O-line, if the O-line is solid, they should be fine. The most interesting pick was our last pick in the 7th round. We took a tight end out of Utah who'd only played one season of college football. He was a basketball player. He had 4 receptions last year for Utah. All of them were touchdowns. And I think he's looking for his next Jimmy Graham. Sean Payton is.
More like who's the tight end for the Chargers?
Fuck, what was his name? And then the Broncos had that guy for like 2 years, and not Antonio Gates is who you're thinking of. Who was the guy that the Broncos had though? He was same thing. He was a basketball player, and then Julius Thomas, yeah, same thing. And then he turns out he wasn't that good without Peyton Manning.
No, they did take
they drafted a punter, didn't they?
Say that again.
I think they drafted a punter in the 6th round.
They did. Jeremy Crenshaw out of Florida. He's Australian, but he was like the best punter in college football last year because Florida sucks. So,
well,
I don't know. I wouldn't have bet my 6th round or 7th round pick on who they took, but Sean Payton's got a Super Bowl ring and I don't. So,
yeah. Well, I didn't. I guess Shadur Sanders was kind of like the big story of the day, but the weirdest thing was that he went past the second. Because NFL owners are, especially after Jackson Dart went late in the first round, I thought for sure somebody was going to take him because once somebody takes a quarterback, everybody takes quarterbacks, or
yeah,
it's kind of one of those things. And so, like, yeah, I'm just wondering what the fuck did he say in that interview that pissed everybody off so much?
I wonder. I do think it was he came in unprepared for what they wanted to see out of him.
Mm.
And maybe the Giants took Jackson Dart, and there's that chemistry or the connection with Eli Manning and Ole Miss and the Giants.
Yeah.
So,
well, and then
it does make me wonder, did Eli Manning say, "Hey, look, I really like this Jackson Dart kid"?
Well, and then if he turns out okay, you've got Malik Neighbors, who is a freak.
Now, I don't know if you guys watched a lot of Ole Miss games last year, but Jackson Dart has the arm talent. When he's got elite receivers, he has the ability to hit them.
Is he married?
He's got a really solid pocket presence. And he's able to.
No, I'm just saying he's a good looking dude. That he is going to crush so much ass in New York.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do like that pick. I think the Giants hopefully have a solid quarterback for the future. I think Malik Neighbors deserves to have someone better than Tommy Cutlets thrown to him. But
well, he still put up 1,000 yards on it. So like that's how good Malik Neighbors is. So
yeah. And I mean, I think it'll be good because Russell Wilson has a similar play style at his peak, back in like 2015, 16 to the way Jackson Dart plays now. Just Jackson Dart's tall enough to see over the steering wheel and the offensive line. So I don't know. I like Jackson Dart. I think he's a day one starter if he has to be, but I think he's definitely in a position where he can learn and not kind of get thrown into the fire right away. Same with Cam Ward at Tennessee. He doesn't need that time to develop.
Expect to not hear anything about Cam Ward ever again now that he's at Tennessee.
I don't know. I think that Tennessee is hopefully going to turn things around.
That's a bottomless pit. It's a bottomless pit.
I mean, they got rid of AJ Green. They had Ryan Tannehill, who was surprisingly productive for him for multiple years. They got rid of him. The Titans are like the Rockies of the NFL. They just get rid of their good talent. They got rid of AJ Green.
They're the Detroit Lions of the South.
Hey, Detroit Lions are.
Yeah. Detroit Lions had multiple.
So they're the new Detroit Lions. Like they're the new version of them.
I can see that.
Now that the Lions are actually kind of good.
The AFC and NFC South are both joke division.
What did you think of the Pack taking a wide receiver in the first round?
It's just hilarious. Matt Golden, Texas, deep ball threat. I like it. It's fast as fuck. It's crazy that they took a wide receiver in the first round. They never take running backs or wide receivers in the first round. I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers is real pissed right now somewhere.
He's just like seething somewhere.
Oh, you can't, because they promised him wide receivers, and they went out and took like a safety and a linebacker.
Probably that year, and he's like, or even worse.
It's two defensive players. So he's like, all right, I want it the fuck out. So I'm sure he's pissed, but man, that gives Jordan Love a ton of options. A lot of them are hurt all the time.
This just makes me think even more that Aaron Rodgers was that intolerable because Jordan Love seems like a pretty okay guy. Like he just seems pretty agreeable. Like he's just likes football. And then they went out and got him a wide receiver when they never would with Rodgers. And
yeah, and I mean
Rodgers is a better talent.
Certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, Love. I mean, he's got. I think Golden would be a nice compliment to Watson.
Yeah,
big guy,
Oh yeah,
guy. You get someone who's a deep ball threat. It opens up.
Well, you still got Josh Jacob, who's just a fucking bruiser. Just, come on, feed that dude. Yeah, I hadn't. I thought that was a solid move by the Packers. I mean, the Packers typically don't miss in the draft, though.
They don't, and
I mean, they're pretty for as conservative. Like they're the small ball franchise, but they don't miss.
But and it's interesting. I mean, if they really went out and like I can't even remember the last first round off like running back or wide receiver that they've taken, but they usually like find a lot of talent in, like the second, third, fourth round for those kind of players. And so if they're picking someone like that in the first round, they must have really seen something, or Jordan Love just really wanted that guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty solid pick for him, though, and I don't know that they're one of those teams that, like I said, they don't really miss. Like
No, and they're always pretty good, so they're always picking them like the late first round.
So
or they trade away
they got to do their homework.
Yeah, and so they've been so consistently good at drafting.
Yeah,
because they don't pick up too many free agents.
Well, they're kind of like the Money Ball of of football. Like they have been for a while. Like I wouldn't say like Money Ball, but like they had that same type of mentality. Just like where can we get the value here?
Well, and like their value is always good offensive tackles.
Yeah,
pick up in the first round or like
right.
That's what they do.
Well, and it just like feeds into that Wisconsin deal too. You're like, oh yeah, we got a bunch of big boys up front. Like we're Wisconsin. We're gonna play in the snow. We're gonna play in the tundra. We got some beef up front.
Yeah, they took a solid OT in the second round too. I mean, they're not just buying him. They're not just getting Jordan Love options. They're getting him protection, and they're getting Josh Jacobs solid protection. I don't know. I like the Packers to be a solid contender up there with the Lions this year.
I don't think they're as good as the Lions, but I think that they'll make the playoffs. Oh yes, I do too.
I think the Lions are softer than the Packers though, and that's not a division where you can be soft.
I don't know. I think the Lions are vulnerable without Ben Johnson, but I wouldn't say that they're soft.
I mean, they had.
Well, I didn't say they're soft. I said they're softer. I think
they had the best offense and like a top like. I think their defense was ranked like 8 or 9 or something like that. I mean,
right, and then they had a lot of injuries on defense too. But I think Green Bay has like they instilled that mentality. Just like no, this is the Great White North. We're fucking hard up here. I think they're tougher than the Lions, I think. And again, that's no shade to the Lions. I just think that the Packers are about as tough as they get. Like it's like Packers and Steelers. Like those are the toughest teams in the league.
Well, like the Lions are a little bit more like the Rams, like back in the
right.
90s,
well, and they also they're
flashy. They're fast.
And they play in a dome. Like they got a great defense, but they also play in a dome. And I mean, Packers play in Lambeau, dude. It's the frozen tundra. It's like as much as I don't like the Bears and as I like making fun of them, like they have a rule. Like there's no sleeves at Soldier Field. Like no, this is Soldier Field. Like what would they call themselves?
Maybe they'd win some. Maybe we should win some games if
they might actually.
Yeah, I'm like everybody keeps tearing their fucking biceps and triceps. They're not fucking worn, but I don't know.
We only had 7 pulled hammies this game, and we won.
Take a salt tablet.
Motrin.
Eat a banana.
Take a Motrin.
Change your socks.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I liked the Broncos draft class, I think, the most. I think looking at
well,
that's surprising.
You are the homer of all homers. So.
Well, no, I genuinely.
No, he also likes Old Miss.
True. And Wyoming.
But I think the Raiders probably, at least on paper, might win this. I'd like to see how fucking Genty does against the AFC West. I mean, we've got solid run defense with Kansas City, Chargers, and the Broncos.
I don't think it matters. They had Jacobs to do shit.
But I will say that
Wyoming, that's why I think Genty was a stretch. Like they had, like, granted they needed a running back, but did they need one in the first round? Like, weren't there more like pertinent places to look?
Yeah, I mean, they probably need, some linemen, some offensive linemen, some defensive linemen,
somebody who can run behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarterback maybe.
Outside of Max and Bowers, it's a rough team.
Yeah, and no shade to Genty. I think he's fucking legit. I think he'll be good wherever he goes, but like.
No, you're right. Like, it's sometimes, it's kind of hard when you have a top draft pick, but like sometimes it's better to pick your needs instead of the best player on the board.
Yeah, I want Genty to be good because like he's a Mountain West kid, and I root for those guys from the small schools. I'm a small market guy. I always have been. That's why I like even though. The Tigers are in the American League now. I'm still rooting for the Tigers, but I like the small market teams, and so I'm rooting for Genty. But that was such a stretch for the Raiders, and Genty's going to be good, and if he stays healthy, he'll get a big deal somewhere besides Las Vegas probably. And the way they're headed, anyways, you're like that. That was so far down the board of what they needed.
Yeah, I mean they should go running back in free agency instead.
Yeah, or
second round.
Yeah, second round at the earliest. I mean, I know good running backs are like really, really good running backs are hard to find, but solid running backs you can find them anywhere. Like they're kind of. And it's not to downplay them, but they're kind of a dime a dozen. And you're just like, man, you wasted. It's hard to say it's a wasted pick because I think Genty's going to be good, but like for the Raiders, man, it didn't really help you that much.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they got Zach Betch or whatever. Yeah, Zach. Is it? No, Betch. And Genty to support Geno Smith. I mean, I honestly...
But nobody in front of him.
That's a good point. But I think that... I don't know. I think if I was the Raiders GM, I would have taken either a quarterback or O-line first round. And then maybe traded back to try and get Genty if he was still on the board.
I don't think he would have fallen. I don't think so either. I think he would have, if he didn't go with the Raiders there, he would have been like a 14, 15 somewhere in there.
I think he might have been still top 10.
I mean, that good possibility too. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's it kind of
took Caleb Rogers in the third round out of Texas Tech. I mean, he's a big dude, 6'4", 312. And
I don't know. Maybe it is kind of a new wave over there. So we'll see what it is. But I don't know. That seems like it's not a stretch for Genty, but it seems like a stretch for the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering what they needed, and mostly offensive line. Like, taking nothing away from Genty. Like that guy's, like I said, he's going to be good wherever he goes. But it seems like a wasted pick for the Raiders because he's going to be good, but it's not gonna make the team better. I don't think.
Oh, he'll rush for like 1,200 yards, and they'll still only win like 6 games.
Right, and you're in the AFC West, which is kind of a dogfight. Yeah. I mean, like if it was the AFC South, all right, fair enough, maybe, because you don't have to be real good to win that one, but. In the AFC West, I mean, come on, man. You better get some sort of front seven. I don't care what side of the ball. You better get some front seven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's other than that, I don't know. I just didn't pay that much attention to it. It seemed like it was kind of a all the way around. Nothing real outlandish happened. So,
no, I got nothing else to really comment on here.
Yeah. So, well, I think.
What do you think about Travis Hunter going to Jacksonville?
I think that's a great pick.
I think he's a great athlete. I think he's going to be excellent. It's probably a good pick for Jacksonville and not a great pick for Travis Hunter.
Yeah, it's too bad for him. He's going to get stuck in obscurity for the next 3 years.
It's like being drafted quarterback at Cleveland or Chicago or
New York now.
I would say it used to be Detroit, but Detroit's kind of had they've kind of had a resurgence in the quarterback scene, but yeah. New York, pick your team. That's kind of how I feel about that.
I don't know. I mean, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo with Malik Neighbors. I think Scatterbo's gonna get concussed out of the league, like Antonio Brown or Andrew Luck. But before he gets concussed, I mean, CBS.
And kind of what happened to Peyton Hillis too.
Is that what happened to Peyton Hillis?
I don't know for sure. I
thought he just went to Cleveland and like no one remembered he still played football.
I think he got hurt pretty quick, but he got paid. So I mean, good on him. I loved him at Denver. I'm a big fan of like the fullback type. That's
why I like Scatterbo so much.
Yeah, I like him. I would have loved him at Denver. I'll like him. Who do you go to?
He's at the Giants.
I'm
not rooting for him.
I'll root for that guy, but not for the Giants.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm rooting for the Giants because they took Jackson Dart, but
actually of that division, I don't know. I've always
your options are the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the
they're all kind of hard to like, honestly. So I have to view them like I do the Dodgers. I don't like the Eagles as a franchise, but I like that team. I've liked that team for a while. I don't like the Dodgers as a franchise, but I don't really hate anybody on the Dodgers. Like they're a fun team. They're fucking dope. I just hate that they're the Dodgers. You know?
Yeah. I can get behind that.
It's kind of like Aaron Judge. I like Aaron Judge. I just hate the Yankees. I fucking hate the Yankees. So, yeah, I don't know. It's seemed like it was a fun draft. I didn't care all that much about it. So, baseball's been fantastic though this year. I don't know if for you guys. I've had a lot of fun. So much fun. And it's gonna get better. That's the wild part. Like you can feel it. Like the divisions are starting to tighten up a little bit, and we're only a little ways in, but
yeah, I mean, there's not really clear leaders anywhere.
Like even the Dodgers, everybody like gives them like they're gonna win the West, but like I don't know. You look at it, you're like. Maybe not. Like that whole pitching thing might catch up to them.
Yeah, exactly.
It really might. And
if they don't get healthy soon, like there's three teams that are nipping at their heels.
And if they were in the Central, yeah, I would say I would crown them the division winners. Like, kind of, I think the Cubs are basically going to win the Central right now. I was rooting for the Pirates. That's not going to happen. So, and it's early, but I don't think it's too early to say that the Pirates ain't going to win the Central. So, but I think it's too early to say that the Dodgers are going to win the West. Honestly, I mean, I think it's
agreed.
I think it's pretty like 80% sure that the Dodgers win the West, but like there's still 20% there that could happen. And like you said, if they don't get healthy, well, who knows? And
there's still 130 games left.
Yeah, and you're in the West, and everybody else is good besides the Rockies. So, it's I think baseball is going to be really fucking fun this year. Like, it's already been awesome, and I think it's going to be like it's shaping up to be pretty good.
Absolutely.
We'll start rolling out these t-shirt designs. Baseball is for autists, and we're gonna work on one that like baseball is autism, and do it team centric. So, I don't know about the legalities on that, but we're gonna sell them anyways. So if we get sued, we'll call Elon, see if he helps us. Probably not, but I don't know. We'll do it anyways. But I think it's a good idea. So anyways, fucking great episode, fellas.
Yep.
We had a lot of, like I said, I don't know how many of those are bots coming from Twitter, but we had over 20 consecutive viewers all the way through. So
we had Sean.
Thank you all.
Yeah, and Sean,
favorite country boy Sean.
Yes. He I didn't notice him until it was like 30 minutes past he stopped commenting. I was like, well, I don't even know whether to acknowledge that or not. But all right. Well, on that note, move your ass. We're burning daylight.